Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out, episode 422. Wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving, as well as a successful Cyber Monday or a great Giving Tuesday, and whatever else you may be celebrating this week. Hope you're all doing well, and thank you for making Tech It Out a small part of your day. Maybe you're on a road trip right now, coming back from Thanksgiving and listening to Tech It Out in the car on your favorite local talk radio station or as a podcast. Speaking of talk radio stations, I enjoyed my chat on WTBQ and WGHT in the New York and New Jersey area. Little shout out to you. They run Tech It Out twice, so you may be hearing this as late as December the 5th. Well, hey, as you may or may not know, Norton has joined Visa as a major partner on Tech It Out. Interestingly, both companies aim to protect consumers in slightly different ways. I'll tell you more about Visa shortly, but speaking of Norton, we're going to kick off the show with them today to talk with us about Cybersafety Sunday. That's another special day like Cyber Monday. So we're going to learn what makes this one different with Norton in a moment. Tech expert Amber Mack is also here to talk about gadget gift ideas ahead of the holidays, and I'll share some as well. And Schneider Electric will join us to talk about saving money on your monthly energy bills, your utility bills in the home by embracing smart technology. All of this and more on today's Tech It Out. All right, let's kick things off. What better time than the annual Cybersafety Sunday to chat about online shopping safety, just ahead of the busy shopping season, of course. And so I wanted to invite onto the show Leena Elias. She's Chief Product Officer at Gen. That's the parent company to brands that you know, such as Norton. And she's here to share some insights and tips with us. Welcome, Leena, and happy almost holidays to you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, Mark. It's great to be here.
Awesome. So why don't we start off with Cyber Safety Sunday, which may be on the day our listeners are hearing this interview, or it could have been a few days ago. It's all tied to holiday shopping and staying safe while doing so.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So Cyber Safety Sunday is really, for us, it's really a call to action. Norton has declared the day before Cyber Monday as Cyber Safety Sunday. This year, that's November 30th. And it's really a day of action for consumers to start preparing themselves to shop smart by doing things like updating your passwords, installing protection on the devices that you use to shop, and generally just staying vigilant and on the lookout for scams, especially on social media during a period of time when there are a lot of those scams out there when people are shopping online.
Fair. I'm going to ask you to elaborate on some of those tips in a couple of minutes from now, like password protection suggestions and protecting your devices with anti-malware, anti-malicious software. So we're going to get to all of that. There's one thing that I know a lot of my listeners use already, and it's called a VPN, or virtual private network. Can you explain what this is and why it's a good idea?
Yeah, of course. If I can maybe put it in the simplest way I can think of, imagine your online activity as a postcard. And on that postcard is, the writing on the postcard is your online activity. Anyone who's handling the postcard can read it and see what you're doing online. A VPN is like putting that postcard inside a sealed envelope so that only you and the person you're sending it to can actually see what's inside. So it's really a way for you to protect your private data while you're shopping online.
That's a great analogy. I like that a lot, Leena. The one I've used is imagine, you're on the super information highway and everybody can see where you're driving because of helicopters. The VPN would be like an underground tunnel where you're still going to get to your destination, but you can't be seen. I think I like your postcard analogy better. That's a really good one. Thank you for that. So a VPN is a great way to remain anonymous online, away from the prying eyes of advertisers and search engine companies and your ISP, your internet service provider, and cyber criminals too. You can't be targeted if they don't know where you are. Your VPN not just masks your identity, but your location too. And is there a reason why you would recommend Norton VPN?
Yeah, we've really tried to simplify the usage of a VPN as much as possible. We've included within our VPN what we think are the most important features for an everyday user to be able to get online and feel safe online. And so our basic VPN is a very comprehensive product that not only helps protect you while you're surfing online, but also protects your data. But we've also included in our higher tiers some additional features that users might be interested in having. Things like a comprehensive family solution along with identity theft protection and parental controls. So these are some of the bells and whistles that we've added into our VPN offering so that we really can offer the most comprehensive protection for everyday users.
Yeah, thanks for that. And I think you've kind of hinted at this when you talked about data protection, is that there are some free VPNs out there that will sell your data. It's anonymized, but it's still your surfing habits, which is contradictory to the whole point of a VPN. So good to know that customer data is protected. It stays within Norton. Again, part of the Gen family, that's GEN. And we are chatting with Leena Elias. She's Chief Product Officer at the company, to share some cyber safety tips for us ahead of the shopping season. So VPN, good idea. Thank you for explaining why Norton. And speaking of the company, they do also have a suite of other products, right? I mentioned anti-malware, which we used to call it antivirus, I guess, but it's a lot more than that today. There's also a password manager that Norton has. There's LifeLock for personal protection. Can you tell us a bit more about the family of products at a high level?
Yeah, of course. You started with anti-malware protection. So our flagship product, Norton 360, is a really comprehensive product that protects, at the most basic level, protects the devices that you have from being infected with a virus or with malware. And we have a virus protection guarantee, meaning, we're pretty sure we're going to protect your device from any type of malware that's out there. And so you can feel confident when you have N360 installed on your machine that you are going to be protected. In addition to that, we offer a number of other solutions that help users stay safe, not only protecting your device, but also protecting things like your data. And so that's where a VPN comes in. We talked about that already a little bit. We have an anti-track solution, for example, that helps protect you from being tracked online. And so it masks your IP address, but also masks some of the other data that you might be sharing, like your digital fingerprint, when you're online. You mentioned identity theft protection. We have our LifeLock solution that offers a number of features to protect your credit card information, your personal data like your social security number, bank accounts, and also provides a number of alerts when we see any sort of suspicious activity that has to do with any of your personal information. And we also offer comprehensive insurance through the LifeLock product as well. So that's just a little bit more about some of the products that we have. You mentioned also a password manager. Using a password manager, especially when you're shopping online and during the holiday season, is extremely important. A lot of people think they can manage their passwords with their own sort of methodology or algorithm. But the truth is, if you can come up with a safe password, it's probably a password that is pretty easy to guess. And so using a password manager is really important. And Norton offers a password manager for free in our portfolio.
Wow. So obviously a very comprehensive full circle protection on several fronts, including a password manager. Good to hear that it is free. That is obviously something that you use one master password to access, and then you've got all your other passwords in there, because we all get lazy, we get complacent, we use the same passwords for a lot of our activity. But once there's one breach, even if it's a super long, complicated 20-character password with uppercase and lowercase and punctuation and all that, if you use that more than once, if there is a breach on the other end, then the cyber criminals have the keys to the kingdom, so to speak. All of your accounts are compromised. Speaking of passwords, let's end off on some safety tips for listeners, again, especially over the holidays, but is relevant any time of the year. A good password is one thing. What about making sure that it's an encrypted connection, like a little padlock in the browser before you give out your credit card when you shop online? Is that something that Norton suggests?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely you want to stick to trusted retailers that you know. And a really good rule of thumb is to start with websites that start with an HTTPS. Mm-hmm. That's a good way for you to know that it is a secure site.
And that's like having that postcard inside of a sealed envelope. So only you and the retailer have access to your info, going back to your previous analogy. What about too good to be true scams out there as well, where people are getting messages over social media, sometimes like DMs, direct messages saying, hey, well, you can buy an iPhone 17 for way lower than anywhere else. Your spidey senses should be tingling there too, right?
Of course. Yeah. If you're receiving text messages or emails, especially from people that you don't know, or, just a sender that you don't recognize, definitely be on the alert. A lot of what we see in terms of victims of scams, they're getting scammed through those texts and emails. We're also seeing that consumers today are receiving scams more and more through not only through SMS and email, but also through social media. So being really vigilant about watching what you see coming through on social media, tracking what you're seeing from people that you don't know, and just staying vigilant about not responding to anything that's asking you for money is going to be really, really important.
Yeah.
A couple more tips that are really easy to set up during the holiday season are to do things like enabling your fraud alerts on your credit card or your bank account to help monitor any sort of unusual activity on those accounts. And then remember to report anything suspicious right away. Another thing that you can do is track your orders. When you're ordering online, make sure you know when to expect deliveries, because delivery scams are actually really prevalent during the holiday season as well. And so it's a good time to be aware of fake notifications that might be trying to trick you into spending more money.
These are all great tips. Thank you so much, Leena. Is there a website you could recommend?
Yeah, definitely check out www.norton.com, and you can learn about all of the different products that we offer to help keep you safe online during the holiday season.
Speaking of which, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for your time, Leena. All the best. Good to chat with you.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you.
Wow, she was a great interview. When we return on Tech It Out, tech expert Amber Mack shares some of her favorite gadget gift ideas ahead of the holidays. We'll be right back.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We cover cybersecurity a lot on this program and how you can best protect yourself in the digital age, even if you're not super tech savvy. One part of the solution is securely shopping online. And so I'm thrilled about my partnership with Visa on Tech It Out, as they've made some significant investments in fraud prevention over the past 5 years, as much as $10 billion. Yes, that's billion with a B, to support Visa's brand promise to protect the financial information of individuals and businesses. Zero liability means peace of mind when you shop online using your Visa card. There can be no half measures when it comes to cybersecurity, which is why the company takes an aggressive and multi-layered approach to combating the rising threat of malicious software and other threats by well-funded and global criminal enterprises. Read more about Visa and how securing the world's payments is priority one at visa.com/security. That's visa.com/security. Speaking of shopping, believe it or not, the holidays are just a few weeks away. And if you're looking for a few great gift ideas, tech expert and supermom Amber Mack is here with the newest, coolest, and most popular tech picks for the entire family. Hi, Amber. Thanks for your time today. Always great chatting with you.
Hey, Mark. It's always great to chat about holiday tech, and have a bunch of cool picks on my list this year, all stuff that I'm trying out at home with my entire family.
Awesome. Why don't we start off with something for tweens and teens? I know you have a teenager under the roof, so maybe you can start there.
Yeah, let's start with the Cricut Joy Extra and Everything bundle. You and I are both familiar with Cricut. It is such a fantastic company that makes it really easy for crafting beginners as well as DIY enthusiasts, so that you can create personalized gifts. You can create holiday decor with people's names on it. And it's been so fun. My son and I have been using Cricut for a really long time. And what I love about this bundle is that you get everything that you need to get started with all of your crafting and projects. And so it really helps you to sort of have an experience using technology that is so hands-on and so creative. And I think every family absolutely loves that idea.
Awesome. All right. And for our listeners, Cricut is spelled CRICUT if you haven't seen or have used the brand before. So Cricut Joy Extra plus Everything bundle is a great pick. And my wife, Kelly, was just decorating some coffee mugs. So cool. All right. And then gaming. Let's pivot and talk about what's hot when it comes to console gaming. I think I know which brand you're going to refer to.
Yeah, I think you know a lot about this pick. The Nintendo Switch 2 is really all the rage these days. It's great to play at home home or take on the go. It has a bigger screen, great color, great clarity as well. The new Joy-Con 2 controller snap on magnetically, which is really cool, and a bunch of games as well that are hot this holiday season. My son is a huge Zelda fan, so we really love Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. There are other games out there too, but Mark, this is kind of the perfect gift for any gamer in your family, and again, fun for the whole family.
The brand new Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is out, as well as Pokemon Legends ZA, and that's a lot of fun as well, heading back to Lumiose City. So really great stuff there. Let's now shift gears, Amber, and talk about smart home tech. It's incredibly popular because it's relatively affordable, but so practical and fun too, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it is really fun and like you said, really practical. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the TP-Link Tapo Smart Wi-Fi Door Lock. So this is a really easy to install door lock. And with the Tapo app, you can remotely manage the lock. You can monitor the entry logs. That means you can see who's using what code to come in and out. And you can set temporary codes for guests. I have a really big family, and so I love this idea when people come to visit that I'm able to give them a temporary code. And it's easy, like I said, to install. There's a built-in doorbell, and there are backup keys as well. So this is really a great gift for anyone on your list who doesn't have a smart door lock.
And I love the idea of having that integrated doorbell. A lot of people, including us, we have our smart door lock on a side door where we don't normally have a doorbell. So that's a nice extra feature to have. We are chatting with Amber Mack, tech expert and mom extraordinaire. Let's now chat about a robotic vac and mop hybrid.
Yeah, so this is the Roborock Q-Revo Curve Robot Vacuum and Mop. So it's an all-in-one for hands-free cleaning. It has this great technology called Hyperforce that means that it can get a really deep, powerful clean by lifting up debris, hair, and dust. I'm going to stick on that hair word, Mark, because I have 2 dogs. So I love the fact that the dual anti-tangle system prevents hair clogs. And I love the fact that not only can it vacuum, but it can also mop as well. The all-in-one dock takes care of that with 75-degree Celsius hot water mop washing and warm air drying. So this does a lot.
And then let's end off on tablets. What do you have there? Because I know that's a very popular product category because they're so versatile.
So this is the first time I'm seeing this product, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra. I've been playing with it for a couple of weeks. This is just absolutely gorgeous. It's slimmer, it's brighter, it's lighter. It has a bunch of AI tools built in as well. So great for productivity, for creativity, for entertainment. Got this over at the Best Buy Holiday Gift Guide. So if you are looking for gift ideas, a great place to go. I love that you can order online and pick up in as little as 1 hour. And there are also always lots of great deals there as well over the next few weeks. So a really great pick for that tablet lover in your family. And a tablet is a really, I think, practical gift, again, really for anyone.
Yeah. And I'm an avid reader. And I was just reading last night on a plane on my tablet on the way home. It was great. So that's the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra. Great for gaming as well with your fingertips. Amber, always amazing chatting with you. Where's a website that our listeners can go to see some of these items?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can head on over to ambermac.com, and one of the most recent blog posts will be my holiday tech gift picks, and you can get links to the products, see some of the local pricing as well. And Mark, it's always fun to chat with you this time of year.
Thanks again, Amber. ambermac.com. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Are you spending too much on your home's utility bills, your monthly energy costs? Well, we're going to chat with Schneider Electric on a solution when we return on Tech It Out.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out. Homeowners know the struggle is real. As if mortgage payments and property taxes weren't bad enough, repairs, soaring energy costs can really hit your wallet hard. And so I've been writing a lot over the last couple of years about Schneider Electric's products, as they can help you understand and thus change what you're doing in the home to help reduce your monthly utility bills. Joining us on the line to chat is David O'Reilly. He's Vice President of Home and Commercial Solutions Division at Schneider Electric. Welcome to the show, David. Good to chat with you. you.
Thanks very much, Mark. I'm really happy to be here with you.
Yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to this personally and professionally. My wife knows I curse a blue streak when I open up our electric bill, gas, water, all that kind of stuff. Before we talk reducing energy home costs, please tell us a bit about SE, Schneider Electric.
Absolutely. Well, it's a fascinating company, global leader in energy management and automation. It's really focused on driving innovation and sustainability into residential, commercial, industrial environments. All of our solutions really focus on making energy safer, more reliable, more efficient for the homeowners in the business. So it really goes beyond just smart tech as a tagline. And we're really committed to helping customers reduce the carbon footprint, knowing how much energy they're using, and at the same time enhancing how they live and work.
Great. I think the company is French.
It is, yes.
Been around for a long time. With that in mind, what's one thing that maybe most people don't know about Schneider Electric that you think is pretty cool?
Well, so one thing is certainly how far back the company goes. The company was actually founded in 1836 in France as a steel and iron company to originally forge cannons for Napoleon III's army.
Wow.
So we haven't always been in the electrical business, but we've certainly evolved into that. We've had a long-standing commitment to sustainability. Is the key message here. We were actually voted recently by Corporate Knights as the most sustainable company in the world for the second time in 3 years. That's because we made such advancements in home energy management, empowering homeowners with tools to monitor and optimize energy use, and it's really starting to make an impact.
Awesome. So let's talk about those tools. As I mentioned in my introduction, many homeowners are feeling the pinch when it comes to our utility costs. Why do they keep going up, and what can we do about them?
Yeah, they're really hitting us all in the pocketbook, aren't they? There's a few reasons for these costs going up. Certainly, first and foremost is just increased energy demand, right? If you look at how we're living and working today, we're just using more energy.
And a lot of people are working from home too.
The energy demands on the residential home grids now are significantly higher than they were pre-COVID. Right. Mm-hmm. And then you add to that, look, I mean, we've got aging infrastructure. We're still using 100-plus-year-old model of central power generation with long haul distribution that then gets transformed down into how we use energy at home. As the energy demands increase, this is going to be harder and harder for the grids to generate and distribute energy in that fashion. Right. Which is really why what we're really focused on is how can we make the home more sustainable and help homeowners that want to create or generate load within their home residential environment, giving them the tools to do that, the power to do that. This is what we're all about right now.
So I know one or more of your solutions, David, has to do with connecting to your electrical panel, and it gives you an insight in real time into the energy that you're using throughout the home and when and where. And can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so what you're talking about there is our Wiser home energy monitoring system. This provides the homeowner with insights like they've never had before. The homeowner always needs to get anything that's touching the panel. First of all, as you said, you always need a professional to do that. So, engage with a professional licensed electrician contractor to get this looked at or installed or considered for your home. But essentially what Wiser does is it hooks onto the main panel and then has the ability to go out and search through the home using AI interfaces, give the homeowner a perspective on the load that they're using at every outlet and receptacle in the home. So what I mean by this, it can intuitively tell you, without you having to name it, that the refrigerator is plugged in and it's pulling this much energy. The vacuum currently plugged in, not being used in the living room. Now it's being used. Now it's been moved to the dining room, right? What this does for the homeowner is something that, simple thermostats, a lot of other smart technology just can't do. It monitors the load that's being used through the panel to the receptacle and the switch. That power for the homeowner can help them really not just use less, but use more efficiently, more wisely, pardon the pun. Right?
Yeah, nicely done. Nicely done.
And look, it's significant. In our home, we had new windows. We had new doors. It's not an older home, so we knew we had solid insulation. We had LED lights. We thought we'd pretty much done everything, Mark.
Yeah, it sounds like us. We've tried to chip away. Same with you. We didn't replace the doors or windows, but we put in LED lights. We have a room, had an electric heating. We changed it to gas because it costs less for that part of the home, and other little tweaks. And the PR firm that represents Schneider Electric was nice enough to send me something to show on TV. It is this Wiser solution you're talking about, but I have not had someone install it. So I can't speak firsthand as to how much to save, but I'd love to hear you quantify. You said it can make a significant impact. So could you put that into dollars and cents or percentage?
Anything that is pulling an electrical load, it will monitor. So electric hot water tanks, heat pumps, it'll watch everything that connects to the panel.
Right.
And on average, what we're seeing is a range of percentage savings. We can safely say that homeowners, if they use it properly, can see 20 to 25% reduction in their energy use at home. And so, you think about that, you've done everything else correctly, or you're in the process of doing it. This now is just another layer that gives you insight that you just wouldn't have had before.
Wow, that is significant. We're going to continue chatting with David O'Reilly from Schneider Electric. In a couple of moments from now, we'll continue talking about ways to save money on your home's energy bills. This is something that's personal to me because where I live, I am always complaining about high rates and trying to find efficiencies. There's a few different things you can do, and Schneider Electric seems to have some really good solutions. So I wanted to invite David onto the program to chat. If you've got anything you'd like to share, I always love interacting with Tech It Out listeners. I'll spell my name in a moment, but I'm on all the major social media platforms, whether you want to write something publicly and tag me or use the hashtag Tech It Out, or you can DM me, direct message me, but you can find me on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, and a couple of others that I forgot about. But yes, it's Mark Saltzman, MarkSaltzman, Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, Saltzman with a Z. If you prefer email, you can hit me up on my website, marksaltzman.com. Just as it sounds, you'll find a way to write me a message there if you're not so much into social media. However you like to reach out, let me know where you're tuning in from. I always like learning where you're listening to the show from and how you're listening, if it's the podcast or your favorite local talk radio station. All right, when we return on Tech It Out, we're going to continue chatting with Schneider Electric on ways to save money on your monthly energy bills, something that I know is resonating with a lot of listeners right now. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We're chatting with David O'Reilly, VP of Home and Commercial Solutions Division at Schneider Electric. We are chatting about ways to reduce the amount you spend every month on your home's utility bills. I understand there's an app that is kind of like your dashboard.
Yeah, so great question. So the interface for you is through your smartphone, either Android or iOS. That gives you the power right to your personal device to be able to see, but not just see, you can actually manage. When you layer in other technology that we have, right, which is our smart breakers, our smart relays, not only can you see the energy you're using, but now you can also use it for on-off capability if you'd like. So you go out, you forget the lights are on. It does have the functionality and the ability to actually help you with that. Close blinds, curtains, if you've got that technology in your home. But the interface is through your smartphone.
Tell us about some of the other products that you've just hinted at that Schneider Electric has. And you can also schedule things to run at different times of the day, right? Like where I live, it's cheaper to run your appliances, such as like a dishwasher. You can have it run late at night or early in the morning when your off-peak rates are lower than middle of the day.
That's right. Yeah. So by integrating, smart relays, smart breakers into the panel, in addition to Wiser, what you're really doing is you're no longer a consumer of energy. You're now a prosumer, meaning that you're proactively involved with how you manage, distribute, view, turn off on devices when you use energy. And Mark, the really interesting thing is as we move our residential environments to becoming more sustainable, meaning that they're generating a certain amount of load themselves, either through examples like solar or wind. The power of Wiser really goes just beyond simple on-off, simply telling you how much energy you're using. The power of it becomes, when you become a prosumer, is that now you've got everything in your home electrified, including the car in the driveway.
Right.
And maybe you want to use some of the energy from the car back into the home or send it back to the grid. The power of the Wiser Home Energy System can take you there also, right? So now you're truly proactively involved in how you're using and directing the energy from the home. And some of that energy might even be generated at the home.
Awesome. And then before I let you go, David, it would be remiss to have you on the show and not ask about any other tips that you may have for us on making a dent on our monthly energy bills.
Certainly, yeah. And we look at this a lot, right? So a lot of this sometimes goes beyond what Schneider can do, but certainly, simple steps like sealing drafts, considering windows and doors, using energy efficient appliances, installing programmable thermostats. This can all make a super big difference as you're making this shift to becoming a prosumer eventually. Consider shifting energy to off-peak hours whenever possible. I mean, I know we have to do that in our home, and every small change really adds up.
And then finally, where are your products available, and what's the best place to learn more about becoming a prosumer with Schneider Electric's help?
Well, certainly you can look at all our products on our website, se.com. Everything that I've talked about today, widely available. You can find them at major home improvement retailers, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, etc. Speak to your local electrical contractor, electrician, drop into an electrical distributor, or check one of them out online, and all the information should be there.
Great. David, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and teaching us ways to reduce our energy consumption, and let us know more about SE or Schneider Electric's product lineup. Thanks again.
Mark, real pleasure. Thanks for the interest and the time today. It was wonderful to talk to you.
I already have messages in my inbox and through social media about saving money on your monthly bills at home. So yeah, I know this is a topic that would go over well with our listeners. You are listening to Tech It Out. I'm your host, Mark Saltzman. You may be tuning in on your favorite local talk radio station. There are more than 100 extraordinary talk radio stations that pick up Tech It Out every weekend. Some air the show twice. Some stations run it during the week, which is pretty cool. Or you may be tuning in on your favorite podcast platform like Spotify or Amazon Audible, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Stitcher, and all the other ones that are out there. Very cool to have you along. Feel free to leave a review. That goes a long way, even if it's just a star rating. And if there's a share button and you like some of the topics and guests that I've had, please feel free to flip it over to a friend, a family member, a colleague, and hit that subscribe button. So yeah, I sound like every other podcaster out there. Hit the subscribe button. But yeah, it does go a long way. Thank you so much. Before we take a short break and I share some gadget gift ideas ahead of the holidays, including some gaming ones, I wanted to let you know that I will be at the Consumer Electronics Show in early January, as per usual, the annual conference that brings in over 100,000, at one point, 180,000 attendees from around the globe, all to kick the tires on tomorrow's tech today. I think it's my 25th, 26th year, something like that, since the late 90s. But I'm going to be a judge again for USA Today. I'll be writing, like last year, my favorite top 50 gadgets from the Consumer Electronics Show, as well as this year, I'll be writing about what I found also for reviewed.com, a place that I write for quite a bit. They used to be owned by the same parent company of USA Today, Gannett, but now they're with Stack Commerce or Stack Social. And I'm also going to be covering it for Post Media in Canada, which is 130 different publications in total, like National Post and Toronto Sun and Vancouver Sun and so on. So very excited about the Consumer Electronics Show, CES 2026. I will be flying in on the 4th or 5th of January, and then the convention starts on the 6th. And it's massive. It's like 30 or 40 football fields worth of tech, if I remember that correctly. And that's between the Las Vegas Convention Center, the LVCC, as well as surrounding facilities like the Venetian, the Sands Expo, I think it was called, and other suites. And, it's a massive event. So I'm really excited to broadcast there for Tech It Out listeners as well. So you bet that I will be doing interviews at the show, as well as sharing with you what my top picks are. I know a lot of listeners are excited about what's coming down the road in 2026, 2027. This is the show where all the big products make its initial debut, like the VCR back in the day, and the DVD player, and flat panel TVs, and the Xbox, and so on. So yeah, this is the big show. We'll also see automotive tech, like autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars. We'll see the latest in AI and how that's being embedded in hardware as well. When we return on Tech It Out, a few gaming and gadget gift ideas. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
To end off today's show, as I mentioned earlier in the program, I had a lot of fun last week doing TV interviews across the country from the quote-unquote North Pole. I was in Huntington Beach, California on a green screen set, and we made it look like I was in Santa's workshop to help pack Santa's sleigh with some great tech leading up to the holidays. We had a lot of fun with it. I think the TV stations liked the look of that segment. Really fun. So I wanted to share those gift ideas with you, whether you want to treat loved ones with a great gift under the tree or in a stocking, especially if they're into games and gadgets, or if you want to treat yourself to something, taking advantage of the discounted prices. So let's get right to it. Playing console games remotely remains incredibly popular. And with the PlayStation Portal, it brings the PS5 experience to the palm of your hands. So it fits in your hands, got a controller on each side and a screen in the middle, and it wirelessly talks to your PS5. So it's perfect for households where gamers might need to share their living room TV, or they just want to play from another room. Maybe lying in bed, they want to get their game on. Well, there's a huge selection of blockbuster titles for PlayStation Portal, including the critically acclaimed Ghosts of Yotei. That's the standalone follow-up to the award-winning Ghosts of Tsushima, where you're transported to 1600s Japan and you play as a vengeful warrior. Super fun. Ghosts of Yotei is one of my favorite games of the year. And speaking of games, Konami's Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is a faithful remake of the original Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, released back in 2004. And so it reintroduces a new generation of players and veteran fans to the very beginning of the series. You get to climb into the boots of Solid Snake, a tactical operative deployed to defuse a nuclear conflict during the Cold War. It stars the original voice cast and delivers upgraded visuals and evolved combat. It's available for PS5, Xbox, and PC, and I really love the new multiplayer mode called Fox Hunt, also a blast in this Metal Gear iteration. Another great gaming remake is Activision's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 through 4 bundle. So 4 legendary games, all fully remade at an aggressively low price. This collection combines everything fans loved from the original 4 Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games, but with new skaters and even more gnarly tricks, an even better soundtrack, and all new parks. Boy, I never thought I'd say gnarly again. It's really a great deal from Activision, heavily discounted, even after Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 through 4 is available for all major consoles and PC. Next up, and speaking of games, before we move on to a recommended gadget for your home, gamers who need more storage would love unwrapping the SANDISK Extreme Portable SSD for PlayStation 5 console and PC. So this is officially licensed storage from SANDISK, with enhanced read speeds of up to 1,000 megabits per second. So it lets you quickly transfer games to the PS5's internal storage. Or for PlayStation PC games, you can store your game library and play directly off the drive. It's that fast. So it's a speedy drive, reliable, and high capacity. So you no longer have to delete previously installed titles that you still want to play. And it's durable too, as this portable external SanDisk solid-state drive has an IP65 rating and impressive drop protection as well of up to 10 feet. Finally, Alexa Plus is now available. A smarter, more conversational, more personalized, and more capable assistant. It's available on Amazon Echo devices, like the new Echo Show 11, a smart display with a vibrant touchscreen, loud and clear audio, and something called OmniSense technology for all new experiences. The camera can recognize you and remind you to do things when you walk past it. How cool is that? You can see recipes and calendars at a glance, watch your favorite shows, and even have Alexa Plus book restaurant reservations for you, and much more, all by just using your voice. Well, there you have it. A look at some games and gadgets just in time for gift-giving season. Happy holidays. And don't forget, when you do shop online, use a secure method, something that gives you buyer protection in the event things go sour. I'm referring to a credit card like Visa, a partner of mine on Tech It Out. I've been a Visa customer for like 30 years now when I was in college. Coming out of university, thrilled that they are an official partner on Tech It Out, as well as Norton, who you heard from earlier in the show. We chatted about some cyber safety tips since it is Cyber Safety Sunday, which is a great time of the year to remind shoppers ahead of the holidays how to remain cyber safe. Norton, of course, helped kick off the show today, another amazing partner on this program. And I hope you enjoyed the other interviews as well. We had Schneider Electric on to talk about how to save money on your monthly utility bills, your energy costs in the home. And we had Amber Mack on the program. Amber is a dear friend of the program. She is a veteran tech expert and does a lot of keynote speeches, which we didn't get to in the interview, but she talks all around the world about entrepreneurship and stuff. So she's not a one-trick pony like I am. I just say I want to stay in my lane, right? Can't know it all, even though my wife may say I think I know it all. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the program. If you are listening over Thanksgiving weekend, drive safe or fly safe, however you're getting back home. And I look forward to catching up with you next weekend for another brand new episode of Tech It Out.